All right, welcome to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and in this episode, we're going to be busting out our first Vikings 7-round mock of the season, and I am fully excited.
Yeah, you're visibly excited. I can see it from here. I like to say we're only going to do one of these a month, but I can't guarantee you that. There might be a couple coming. Very exciting times. This has been a tradition since way back when doing a Vikings 7-rounder. We used to rotate on the site back in the day, and now it's coming to you live on the Onebar and Lupagus show.
Not really live, but video. It's coming to you by video. You can see our faces. And right I'm not gonna lie, there was some trades. There were some trades in this one, and if you're thinking, oh, that's lame, I mean, there's gonna be some trades on draft weekend. Always is.
Yeah, I used to be a big fan of not doing mocks with trades, but now it just happens so much. You almost have to at least throw one in there if you're doing a mock. If you're actually writing one out, if you do a mock without a trade, just throw it in the garbage because it ain't gonna hold up.
Wow, that was intense.
Come a long way.
Usually when we do 7-round mocks, we'll use the Draft Network, we'll use PFF. For this one, we'll use the PFF rankings, and it's a good little tool. Check it out.
Yeah, this one's fun because you get the free trades. Yeah, it's a hell of a time. Way to kill some time at work if you're having a slow day.
All right, well, let's do this. Before we get into it, remember, subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 2,500 subscribers. Like the videos.
Yeah, get that Klein sauce or swag.
Yes, when we get to 2,500 subscribers, we're giving away a beautiful, beautiful Klein saucer print from pickandshovelware.com. Check it out. We'll be doing a random drawing.
Some even call it a pictogram.
Pictogram. I don't know what that is. All right, let's do this. So I went through and did this mock draft with the help of Lupagus, but I'll give a little more background because I was seeing these picks front and center. So round one for the Minnesota Vikings, when they were on the clock, at pick 14, there was a plethora of talent there. We had the options between a Kwity Paye, Greg Russo, Barmore were all there, and we opted to trade back. With the Miami Dolphins.
So what? That's like what, 4 or 5 picks?
We went from pick 14 to pick 18, and we gave them 14 and a round 5 pick, and in return, they gave us pick 18 and second round pick. So we get our second round pick, a very early second round pick, pick 35, which if that were to come true, I would have dirty pants.
Yeah. And for me, for the Vikings to trade on, there's got to be at least 3-4 options that you like on the board, whether that's, you said Paye, Russo, Barmore, you can throw in Rashawn Slater, you can throw in hell, even Will's tackles. I don't care. You got to have some kind of a fallback plan. I think Wyatt Davis is your real fallback plan. You can go back quite a bit and still land him. So you always got Wyatt Davis in your back pocket. Because I think with his injury, he's not going anywhere before the late first. So, yeah, I love the trade back move. Great haul. And did you make a pick?
We did make a pick. Kwity Paye and Greg Russo ended up going off the board before pick 18, but that was just fine because, like I said, in a perfect scenario, we get this guy after a trade back anyways. We got defensive tackle from Alabama, Christian Barmore.
Yeah, I love this guy. I think he would be a game changer in the middle of the Vikings defensive line, creating that interior pressure. This guy can split double teams. He can swap passes. He's got a motor that doesn't quit. Long arms that he uses to poke balls away. This guy's fun to watch on tape. I think he'd be a great addition, and he's a guy who could finally make some plays in the interior of the Vikings defensive line. Put him next to Michael Pierce. Damn.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh man, Barmore is great. We got to trade back. We can't take him at 14." When draft day comes, he's going to be well worth that 14th pick. Yeah. He's going to be a guy that continues to rise. So trading back for him, even at this point, might not be very realistic in a couple of months. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. He is definitely the top defensive tackle in a draft class that is lacking top-heavy defensive tackles in round 1. All right, so we ended up getting that round 2 pick back, pick 35. Oh. And, a guy you already mentioned was on the board. And Wyatt Davis was the pick, guard from Ohio State. And the reason he falls is his injury. It seems to be some mystery around this injury. They're not really saying much aside from his Twitter saying he's okay. But that's coming from him.
Yeah, I heard it was a re-aggravation of an old injury, but this guy is a guy you just take, you plug him in, know when your guard spot is set for the next 8 to 10 years, assuming you re-sign him after his rookie deal. He's big, powerful, strong. He can hold up in the pass protection. He can maul guys in the run game. If we ended up with Christian Barmore and Wyatt Davis, the first 2 picks, yeah, my pants would be wet from front to back.
Yeah, if we ended up with these two guys, we could just probably call her good. Maybe just give away our draft picks because it doesn't even matter. We absolutely nailed it. But even as much of a fantasy it might sound, it's doable. It's definitely doable.
How many times have we, had draft picks made that we never thought were possible? You look at the year we had the 3 in the first round. No one saw Sharia Floyd fall in the 20. Teddy Bridgewater, the last pick of the first round. I mean, it happens every year. Guys fall, guys go where you do not expect them to go. And sometimes it's their fault, sometimes it's not. And that's the beauty of the draft. You just don't know what's going to happen.
All right, well, let's mosey on over to round 3. So far, we got our defensive tackle, we got a guard, and in round 3, I had my peepers on a defensive end and a safety, but Rashad Weaver, defensive end from Pitt, was staring us right in the damn eyeballs, and I could not pass. Rashad Weaver is a guy that can go anywhere round 2, round 3, so it was big time value with Mr. Weaver.
Weaver.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, the Vikings got to get a pass rusher. I'm not going to lie and say I know a shit ton about Rashad Weaver at this point, but the position makes a ton of sense. You got Daniel Hunter coming back will be a huge boost to your pass rush, but then after that, it's all question marks. DJ Wanham in year 2. What are we going to get? We're going to get the early season DJ Wanham that was, the team's best pass rusher, the one that we saw down the stretch. It kind of faded out after he hit the rookie wall. But Denebo, I think is going to come back in that reserve role, have a much bigger impact than he did as a starter. So I think you only need 1 or 2 more pieces there, and a third round defensive end makes a ton of sense for me.
Yeah, Weaver, his big thing is he's got good size, 6'5", 270. He missed 2019 with a torn ACL, so his medicals will definitely be interesting to see what happens. But he had 7.5 sacks in 9 games this last year, first team All-American. Everything you read about this guy, team player, great teammate. Physically won't wow you, but he just appears to get the job done. So Weaver could be a guy that goes much earlier than expected, or people don't like the way he is looking, he could go a lot later.
Yeah, it's those injuries that cause guys to fall. It always happens. Eric Decker had like a sliver in his ankle, and it dropped into the 3rd round. So
still damn injuries, good looking though.
He was, and he still is. But yeah, those injuries get magnified on draft day, and it's crazy how negative it can affect a player's stock.
All right, well, we got another round 3 pick, courtesy of those damn Baltimore Ravens and Yannick Ngakoue. And we went cornerback, Shaq Brown, Michigan State, 5'11", 190. Ball hawk, 5 interceptions, good ball instincts. He declared early for the draft. Appears he's got some hops. He can play outside, he can play inside. And one thing that, again, you read about this guy is just he gets better every damn year. So we need depth at corner. Had to happen.
Yeah, I mean, first blush, do I love taking a corner round 3 with our other needs? Not really, but, I don't know how the board looks at the time, so I can't knock your pick too much there. But the thing that's really going to determine, and it's going to make this need rise, is if Mike Hughes comes out and says he's going to retire, he's not coming back. He's had 2 serious neck injuries. That is a legitimate concern. Even if he does come back, he's no sure thing. So you do need one more guy. I'd be more comfortable with that being a 4th or 5th round pick. But again, the value is there. The player's there. I mean, Zimmer will do it. He'll pull the trigger on a corner in round 3. He don't give a shit. He loves corners. So
he'll pull a trigger on round 1.
He would.
We might have Caleb Farley before you know it.
That'd be okay.
Oh, wow. You changed your tune quickly. What I like about Brown is he is a ball hawk. When's the last time we had a cornerback that just went out and ripped off about 8 interceptions?
Oh, man. I don't know. Probably,
it's been a while.
Marcus McCauley.
So far, Marcus McCauley, God no. All right, so far we got our defensive tackle, guard, defensive end, cornerback. We got another round 4 pick coming up, courtesy of the Bears last year when the Vikings traded back in the round 5. And this guy I love. I absolutely love him. We nab a safety from USC, Talanoa Hufanga. Go watch this dude. Anybody watching this right now, go to YouTube and type his name in and just watch his highlights. It's insane.
It's like something you said that time you pulled that one girl's pants down. Talanoa Hufanga.
No, it was much, much worse than that. This guy screams just man crush whatever team he ends up going to, because he is a type of safety that is like a safety slash linebacker all over the field. Not only is he a ball hawk, and when he gets a ball in his hands, he makes shit happen, but he can lay a big old hit. He had 4 picks, 3 sacks. He'll be a starter. This is another one to keep an eye on, that his name could just go.
Yeah, I mean, I love the position. I love, it's a huge need for the Vikings. It's about where you're going to see him take one, round 3, round 4. What worries me here initially is just your enthusiasm for this guy. It reminds me of my enthusiasm for Obi Melifonwu and Miles Killebrew, 2 guys I absolutely loved and adored and assumed were going to be perennial Pro Bowlers. So I hope he doesn't follow that path. And Tahunga Mafunga pans out for the Vikings.
Talano Hufunga.
Oh.
And there's something I got to admit, I got some weird fetish with USC safeties, Taylor Mays. I mean, it's something about those guys that get me very, very happy.
Yeah, no, I mean, it would be a huge need for the Vikings, and he would probably start, because I don't know if we're going to spend a lot of money in free agency on one. So,
you get a Hufunga jersey. All right, let's go to round 5. Round 5, and I did it. Double dipped at the safety position. We got to. And another, I must say, fantastic name, Divine Diablo, safety, Virginia Tech, 6'3", 220, big old size. Again, there's a theme to all these guys when it goes back to Shaq Brown, Michigan State, Hufunga, and Diablo. They're ball hawks. He's a ball hawk. He had 4 picks last year, and he's just all around the ball. And that size at 6'3", 220, damn.
And I don't think it's a stretch at all to go back-to-back safeties in the mid-rounds. We need more than one. There's no depth right now. Josh Metellus is like the only safety on the roster. And I don't think he's a guarantee to even make the team. If he does, he's probably a special teamer. So I think you do need to take at least 2, and you got the picks to do it. And, yeah, I like the idea of getting ball hawks, because what do we have interceptions last? I mean, Eric Wilson lead the team with 3 or something?
I think he did.
I mean, yeah, we need our secondary.
I think Harrison had 4.
Well, we need our secondary to start stepping up and picking up some balls and making some plays to win some ball games. And yeah, I like where you're going with this.
Just imagine Hufunga and Diablo in that secondary. Everybody's gonna be scared of that.
Diablo.
All right, round 5. We're going close to Minnesota, North Dakota State. Big man. We get an offensive tackle in round 5. Dylan Radins, sleeper, hidden gem, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the last video we did, Rashad Hill. I mean, I'm sure he'll be back. He always is, no matter what. But if he's not, needs some tackle depth. I don't have much hope for Blake Brandel coming down the pipeline. Who knows what happens with Riley Reese's future? Oli Udo, again, another question marks. We really don't know what we have for depth at the offensive tackle position. If they keep Reef and they keep Cleveland at tackle, then I'm not so concerned about it overall. But I do think you got to have some depth at some point. And why not do it with a homeboy?
Radins, he'll be at the Senior Bowl. Like I said, he's a sleeper hidden gem. He gets kind of the knock playing for North Dakota State, but he was keeping Trey Lance up on his pins for the last couple of years. And what's great about him is he's very athletic, and not combine. When he does his workouts, Senior Bowl, this is a guy who could maybe jump up a little bit with his ability.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
He's swift. He's swift on his feet. Oh, round 5. Another round 5 pick and another trade. I pretty much gave up the 2 7ths and a 6 to move up. We're doing the opposite than generally what Spielman does, is move back 15 times. And we moved up and got a freaking center. Now for this Bush Jones center / guard bullshit. It's time to move on from him. We got another center / guard. And his last name might seem familiar. Alec Lindstrom from Boston College.
That's why you moved up, because the last name was Lindstrom, and your love for his brother, Chris Lindstrom. I'm assuming they're brothers. I haven't actually looked. I just saw the same college, same last name. I was inferred that they were probably related. This probably goes back to the one that got away a couple drafts ago, and I'm sure you're still butt aching about that one. But hey, center guard, you got to have those guys who can have some versatility. So I would be all for this. I mean, yeah, Bush Jones, does he come back? Probably. He's one of those guys, if Vikings keep bringing back, won't play. Now you have a young guy with some upside here, so gives you, maybe he's one of your starters at guards if he pans out. You don't know. It's not like the depth chart's that daunting.
Yeah, what I love about him is he can play center or guard, and especially the part where it is or guard, because Lindstrom, like his beautiful, fantastic brother, who is a great offensive line for the Falcons.
Is
He's
he? Did he pan
strong.
out?
He's doing all right. He's strong. He's athletic. When you read about Alec Lindstrom, it seems like he's not nice, and that's always been a special place in my heart when you have offensive linemen just don't seem to be very nice people. And this guy seems to overpower his opposing defensive lineman.
So you don't think Dakota Dozier was nice, or
Dakota Dozier was too nice, way too nice, to the point where he was giving opposing defensive sacks. He was just, you know what? I feel bad for you. I'm going to sack Cousins for you.
Yeah, this is how you guys do it. Here's some tips.
All right. Well, we got one final pick because I gave up the house to get up and get Alec Lindstrom. So we end up with a final round 5 pick, no 6th rounders, no 7th rounders. And we end it by grabbing a beautiful wide receiver from North Carolina, Dyami Brown.
You got his size in front of you?
Dyami Brown is 6'1", 195, and this man can fly.
Yeah, a straight up burner would make sense. Field stretcher kind of a guy. Jefferson is pretty much that right now, so teams can kind of plan for him. But you got a guy opposite him. One guy is going to get deep. Who's it going to be? Maybe it'll be Dyami. Dynamite. I'm going to start calling him right now.
Dynamite, Divine, Hufunga. But Brown, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons at North Carolina, 20 touchdowns, 20 yards per catch, playmaker, and surprisingly good blocker. And he could push. I think he could come in to this not fantastic depth of Vikings wide receiver and push for a number 4, number 5 spot. No problem.
Yeah. And let's just mention, this is another deep receiver class this year. Last year was supposed to be one of the historically deep classes, and this year is right up there with it. So a lot of talent in the wide receiver position. Normal year, this guy probably goes a lot higher. So receiver's a big need. And, it's kind of surprising we waited till 5th round with our 6th, 5th round pick to address it. But you got to have that 3rd, 4th option, and the guy with some wheels is definitely attractive here. One thing, so the draft is over, picks are done. Were you ever tempted to pull the trigger on a quarterback?
No. Once I got past round 2, I was kind of over it. So I wasn't very tempted. I mean, as the draft gets closer, and we always also see these guys also start popping in the round 3, round 2, where you don't really hear of much of them. I'm sure I'll get more tempted, but at this point I was not tempted at all. The only thing I wish I would have got a linebacker, but there really wasn't any. I would have been reaching for linebacker. So no linebacker and no return guy. I want a return guy in the later rounds.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going to keep a couple 6th and a 7th, I want one of those picks to be a returner, whether that's a running back, receiver, whatever. A true return man, not someone you project to be like KJ Osborne. I kind of think the running backs do it more. I think they're a little more slippery. But yeah, I do like the idea of just trading up late. I mean, other than us, getting drunker on air and doing those videos, there's nothing really to look forward to with those late picks. But yeah, I like the idea of moving up.
Yeah, you just wait. Any new subscribers that wasn't around last draft, you just wait till every pick we come on and do a video, and we talk slower and slower with each round, and maybe a little more inappropriate.
Yeah, I don't remember doing the last one that I did.
I did a video on Blake Brandel, I think, and
I
don't think it was very good.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so that's it. That is the first Vikings. It was only a 5-round mock this time, but maybe next time it'll be 7. You never know. Maybe we'll do one live on air. Get nutty. We'll get nutty. So grade the draft in the comments. How do you think we did?
How did we do?
What did you like? What did you hate? Any picks you would have liked to seen us make instead of the ones we did? So till next video, remember this. This is actually a very sombering fact. So sit down, hug your family close. Earth has lost 50% of its wildlife in the last 40 years.